Is the NCAA just a billion-dollar money-making industry? Well, that's the question I still have to answer today. Welcome back to another episode of the Film Study with Kirtan Amin. I, of course, am your host, Kirtan. And on this episode, I'm going to be discussing about how the NCAA by itself generates more money than anyone could have imagined, especially from the college level. So, a recent study in 2019 found that the NCAA on average earns around $1.15 billion a year. Yeah, $1.15 billion. This is for many different reasons. Of course, when we talk about the umbrella that is the NCAA, we have to discuss all the different sports that they have. They have every single collegiate athletic sport: golf, football, baseball, basketball, soccer, all of them. But when I really look into what is making the NCAA so much money, it comes from majority college football and a little bit to college basketball, and the rest are dispersed. Now, of course, for the college basketball part, I can speak about how they make money through March Madness, which is one of the biggest tournaments in March, and it's one of the biggest events in March. So they make a lot of money through television through there. But mainly it is college football. As for the fall semester, everyone is tuned in. So how do people see this on TV, right? And we know that the NCAA is comprised of many different conferences, i.e. the Big 12, Big 10, SEC, ACC, no longer the Pac-12. But what I'm trying to say is these different conferences, the SEC, the Big 12, the Big 10, all sign deals with television providers and television companies like ESPN, like NBC, like CBS, and they can generate wealth through using those companies, as those companies want the rights to broadcast those Big 10 games, those SEC games. So in 2023, the SEC inked a landmark deal with ESPN that will pay a whopping $3 billion over the next 10 years. So the quick math of that is they're making $300 million per year. Another deal that has happened was in 2022, the Big Ten announced a 7-year, $8 billion deal with TV providers as of CBS, NBC, and Fox. So that just shows you how much money is in this one sport just based off of televising this game, because everyone wants to tune in, and you can gather over millions and millions of viewers just for people that want to watch their team play on national TV. And let's say I was an alma mater of Texas and I lived in Oklahoma, I would want to watch my team play, and it's stuff like that. So the television is a big market for it. Other is NIL, but I'm going to get to that later. So now let's talk about why the SEC, why the Big Ten are inking so much more money. Well, it's also because of the competition they have in their respective conferences. The Big Ten most notably has Michigan, Ohio State, Penn State, USC. All of these are major schools with major followings. Same thing with the SEC, who has most notably Texas, Bama, and Georgia, the top three powerhouses. And so many people, just if you're a general fan of college football, want to watch these higher end teams play these higher end competitions in the Big Ten, in the SEC, and that's why those teams and those conferences generate so much more money than now ACC, than now the Big 12. So like I said, I was going to talk about the NIL. I'm going to speak about that right now. So here's a question for y'all. Why does Vanderbilt generate less talent, like bring in less talent, than Texas Tech this year in recruiting? Well, when I looked into this question, I found the answer was actually surprising. It was NIL. And NIL is a payment method for college players. It uses their name, their image, and likeness, and it allows them to market in college and make money prior to entering the NFL, prior to entering all of these pro sports leagues. So it's a really good thing. It depends on how you look at it. There's people that are pro NIL, anti NIL. Pro people argue the fact that players can actually get revenue prior to going into the NFL, and so just in case something tragic happens, like they tear their ACL, they get hurt, or they no longer can play, they've already generated enough wealth from the game, or they've generated some kind of payment for all the years that they put in. People that are anti say that it's ruining the league, or ruining the entire NCAA, as the teams with more money are just going to allocate more dollars to better players, to better training, to better facilities, better coaches. And so that's what I'm about to dive into. So the On3, a popular website and a popular YouTube channel, created this list of the 20 most ambitious NIL collectives. Well, to round off the top 5, I'll tell you, number 5 was the Gator Collective, so Florida. Number 4 was Division Street, Oregon. Number 3, The Fund, Texas A&M. Number 2, John Ruse, Miami. And number 1, Spire Sports Group, Tennessee. These guys are the most ambitious NIL collectives and allocate the most money. Well, here's something almost more interesting, especially for my fans here in Texas. Well, the state of Texas has 4 teams in the top 20 NIL collective. Like I mentioned, Texas A&M, Texas Tech, followed by UT and SMU. Now this is surprising because you look at it and say Texas Tech is so high. And does that correlate to the fact that they were able to land 5-star wide receiver Micah Hudson out of Lake Belton? Well, that could possibly be it. Why would Micah Hudson choose to go play for Texas Tech over other teams that want him, like Bama, like USC, like other teams that are known to produce NFL talent? Well, the reason I believe this is because I think they're giving him a lot of money in NIL. I think he already has multiple deals lined up, and Texas Tech is going to almost promote his brand over the team, and they want him to succeed in NIL. So, rounding off this episode, I really just wanted to discuss, like, do you guys think that this is going to be a make or break problem for the NCAA, as NIL will end up ruining the league because then it'll all become money hungry and then something else will emerge ahead? Or will the NCAA become corrupt and will it just become like a FIFA, for that matter, where all you look at is the money and how much money are they making, how much money can they make, and how willing are they to sacrifice other things to become the top team or to become the top brand and make the most money? This is it for this episode of the film study. If you like this episode, please subscribe to the channel. Please like the other videos. Please go watch the other videos as we are trying to promote our content and make it better for y'all. Peace.